Hello, and welcome to Arriva PSI Fundamentals Training Video Series, Volume 2, New Starter Weekly Paid. In this training video, you'll be shown how to add a new starter into PSI who is a weekly paid employee. To learn even more about this process, please click on the PSI Training Information page on ArrivaNet. There you'll find the PSI User Manual, other top tips for PSI, and constant updates that are relevant to the PSI rollout. So to add a new starter weekly paid, let's begin. Log into PSI and go to your Fluid homepage. Once you're on your Fluid homepage, click Add a Person. And then click Add a Person again. Noting the effective date, this is a contractual start date of your new employee. Once you're ready, click Add Name. And this is the employee's legal contract name, so you can add a preferred name at a different time. So add first name, middle name if you have it. If you do have it, please add the middle name as it is important for other interfaces. And of course, the last name. Once you're satisfied, click Refresh Name, and that'll show you what the name will appear like in PSI. Once you're ready, click OK. Next, please enter the date of birth for your employee. And also add birth country and birth location if you have it. It is not mandatory, but it is good for record-keeping purposes. So if you have birth country and even birth location, please add that. Next, you'll see adding a value for gender. You must add a value, male or female. This defaults as unknown, but you need to add a value. You can add the marital status if you know it, or you can leave it unknown. And if you do, next, add the national ID number, noting the correct format. Once you're ready there, click Contact Information. We're going to add the address, so click Add Address Detail. And then click Add Address again. So this is very important. You need to add a value in both address 1 and address 2. Some addresses may have up to 3 lines, but if you only have 2 lines, like the street name and the city name, you must add the city name and address too. And I will do that to show you what I mean. If you do add it in address 2, you do not have to add it in city, the city field. But it's very important to add values in address 1, address 2, and address 3, etc. Once you're ready, click OK. And then click OK again. Next, we'll add the phone type. So you'll have a drop down here that gives you different phone types. Typically, you're going to be adding home and private mobile. So I'll show you that here, adding the home number. Noting the correct format. And then click this plus sign. That will add another data row, and you can add the private mobile. Private mobile is required in PSI, and so please add that in. And once ready, tick this preferred box on the right-hand side. If you have an email address, please add that, but that's not necessary at this time, nor is the instant message ID. After that, we'll click Regional. Right away, you'll notice the expected retirement date. That's just defaulted to the employee's 65th birthday. You can leave that as is. And then please select the appropriate ethnic group, noting that the United Kingdom is the default on this one, and so there will be the denoted ethnicities for the United Kingdom. After that, click on Organizational Relationships and tick the box Employee. You can disregard select checklist code, as that will be a different functionality later. And once you're ready there, click Add Relationship. PSI will flag up sometimes if their national ID is dissimilar or name is dissimilar, so I'm just showing you that here if you want to carry on with the person you entered. So clicking OK and Add Relationship will take you to the Work Location tab in the Job Data page. And note in the effective date is the contractual start date, similar to the page you were just on. Right away, what you need to do is add the correct company for your employee. And then what drives the job data page, just briefly, is the action reason. So in this instance, the action is higher and the reason is higher. You can learn more about action reason in the user manual on ArrivaNet. After that, go ahead and add the department for your employee. This is also, in this instance, the bus depot that this employee will be entered into. Adding the correct cost center, the correct location, and the correct establishment ID. This is the expense code as you know it today. Once you're satisfied with that, also you can add the expected job end date if in fact this employee is a short-term fixed contract. Once you're ready there, please click Job Information. And, the first thing on this page is to add the job differentiation code. This is similar to the DB job catalog, and so please find the most relevant job type for the employee that you're adding. More on that in a minute. After that, all that's needed here is finding the correct supervisor ID. Supervisor level and reports to should be auto-populated. However, if it's not, the most important thing here is the supervisor ID. Find that and add that in. Next is to add the employment class. In this instance, the employee class is standard employee. And very, very crucial is to add this field or enter the right value in this field called regular shift. You must enter that. Just so you know, is that FTE is auto-calculated, so please do not overwrite FTE. After that, click on this Employment Data tab at the bottom. And in this tab, this has a lot of information, more on that in future videos, but what you can do here is add probation date for your employee. Typically, that would be 6 months from the start date. Also, you can add here is what is very important for the payroll interface that goes into PSI is the business title. A list of the appropriate business titles for your business will be either handed out to you or they will be on ArrivaNet in the appendix of the user manual. So what you need to do is use that list and overwrite what was in business title and add the correct title. Once you're done with that, click OK. Go back to the job data page. Just so you know, Job Labor tab is not used in Arriva at this time, so the next most important tab is the Payroll tab. Please leave Payroll System as Other, and then enter the appropriate pay group. You will have a list of what these values mean. So click on the appropriate value. List meaning you'll have what the code is and what it corresponds to. For this instance, this is the correct business type for this employee. And the employee type will be defaulted as hourly once you add the correct pay group. You can disregard holiday schedule because we don't use that functionality in PSI. Next, click on Salary Plan and click on the appropriate Salary Admin Plan. find the correct code, the correct value for the salary admin plan, and click on that. Also, click the appropriate grade. Compensation tab will not be used for a weekly paid employee, so you can disregard that compensation tab for weekly paid employees. Once you're there, click OK. You'll have two error messages that flag up, and those are relevant, but they're not relevant to continue, so you can click OK through both of those error messages. More on that in the user manual. So this brings you back to the Add a Person page, and once you're all done, you can hit Save. Hitting Save will not take you away from this page, so just be okay. That's okay. If you'd like to go back to your Fluid homepage, you can do that. This has been Arriva PSI Fundamentals Training Video Series, Volume 2, New Starter Weekly Paid. In this volume, you have seen how to add a brand new employee who is a weekly paid employee. Thank you very much for watching, and if you need more information, again, please go to ArrivaNet, PSI training information and materials, to find the PSI user manual, and also more information on and updates to PSI. Thank you very much.